Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the corporate world. Today we are diving into a proxy statement which, let's be honest, usually sounds about as thrilling as watching paint dry, but stick with me. We're going to unpack Unity Software's upcoming annual meeting, where shareholders get to vote on important stuff like who's running the show and how much those folks get paid. It's all about power, money, and maybe a little bit of drama. First up, the invite. Unity is holding its annual meeting in June of 2025, but don't dust off your travel shoes. It's a virtual meeting, meaning you can attend in your pajamas from the comfort of your own home. The important part is what's on the agenda: electing directors, approving their accounting firm, and the part everyone loves to debate, executive compensation. Time to talk about the board of directors. 4 people are up for election to the board: Robin Daly, Shlomo Dovrat, Egon Durbin, and Barry Schuler. If they get elected, they will hold those positions until 2028. These guys are not newcomers. They've been around the block, particularly Daly, Durbin, and Schuler, so this is more of the same. Dovrat, on the other hand, brings experience investing in and managing companies in the technology sector. According to the filing, he was recommended as a candidate by Iron Source, a company that Unity acquired. He's a co-founder of a technology investment group called Viola, as well as Viola Ventures. Let's peek at how the board is structured. Currently led by James Whitehurst as executive chair and Roloff Botha as lead independent director. The board will be led by them for a bit, but in May, Whitehurst will become a non-employee director, and Botha will remain as lead independent director. Time to move on to the committees, starting with the Audit Committee. The Audit Committee is there to keep an eye on the company's financial reporting and accounting practices, making sure everything is above board. They also hire the outside auditors. The Audit Committee says they have looked at the financial statements and that they are good. It's kind of like when you ask your friend to proofread your essay and they just say, yeah, it's fine. Next, the Human Capital and Compensation Committee. This group decides how much the executives get paid. They have to balance keeping the executives happy with making sure shareholders don't revolt over excessive pay. And lastly, the Nominating and Corporate Governance Committee. They oversee corporate conduct, make sure the company acts legally and ethically. Now, let's talk about numbers. Always fun. Check out the fees paid to Ernst & Young, the independent accounting firm, otherwise known as the people who check the books. Audit fees hit around $720.24. That's a good chunk of change for making sure the numbers add up. Here's the part everyone waits for: executive pay. In 2024, there were some big changes at Unity. Let's just put it that way. The company got a new CEO, leading to all sorts of adjustments in who got paid what to the compensation plan here, focused on motivating executives with bonuses and stock dependent on meeting corporate objectives. All of it is designed to align with stockholder interests. Base salaries, bonuses, and stock awards are the main components. According to the filing, the new CEO, Matthew Bromberg, came in with a base salary of $850,000, while James Whitehurst, who was interim CEO, got $100,000. What about bonuses? Well, the company didn't hit its target, so there were no cash payouts on the bonus plan. Who owns Unity? Let's check out the major shareholders. Silver Lake owns 8.4% and Sequoia Capital owns 7.8%. Silver Lake and Sequoia Capital are also connected to board members, so they have a fair amount of influence. Interestingly, the company stresses that if you convert these bonds, they would be settled in a combination of cash and stock, and that as of March of this year, if the 2027 notes had been converted, there would be no shares of common stock deliverable to either Silver Lake or Sequoia Capital. Now, for some fun, the filing explains the link between CEO salaries and performance. Because the company had 2 CEOs in 2024, the total compensation gets combined. James Whitehurst and Matthew Bromberg's combined compensation was around $53 million. But again, make sure that you see past the fact that there were 2 people getting paid. And also understand it's not all hard cash, but rather future benefits, mostly consisting of stop the now. Compare that to the average non-CEO, which shows a negative number. This likely has to do with the high degree of executive turnover, as well as one-time golden parachutes or separation payments given to the executives to leave. What we can extract out of the table is that it was a messy year, where lots of people were getting fired and others getting hired. But we can see the same thing with the low TSR and with a negative net income. To the lesson here, numbers don't lie cash, but rather future benefits, mostly consisting of stock that there were 2 people getting fired and others getting hired. We can see the same thing with the low TSR and with a negative net income. So what's the story here? Well, in my opinion, the most interesting thing that I take from this filing is that the old guard that was at the wheel in prior years isn't anymore, and it's a fresh new turn, one that's taking steps to more align with stockholder and investor concerns. The CEO change also seems like it was an expensive one, but I suppose that's something that needed to be done. And in general, a few concerns arise. The company must execute its strategic portfolio as it is what's getting executives paid. It also needs to ensure dilution is controlled. Artsitapime and keep my eye on the developments. And that's it for this video, strategic. Portfolio as it is what's getting executives paid. It also needs to ensure a dilution is controlled, sexy uptakes orphono.